All right, Grand Rising, everyone. Is Shay Seeking or Shalonda, and we're going to go ahead and look at a clip from this video. Again, this video, I'm using fair use, but this video is not to come at the individual in this video because, again, I respect anybody that's promoting content and invoking thought. The reason why I'm sharing it like this is because it invoked or triggered thought. Okay, and so I see exactly what he's saying, and it's agreeable. I'm just gonna answer it or look into it with a different light, because we all have different types of light to shine that will, inspire thought in different people in different ways. Okay, so again, this is not me going at him or challenging him to the information. That's nothing. It's basically inspired thought. Okay, so again, in order to, I want to, again, for you to hear him say it, and I'm kind of like, making a comment about it, a verbal comment. Okay, so, all right.
For these people minimizing the Tuskegee experiments and a history of malpractice in our community, while at the same time telling you that the reason why you're in the position that you're in today is because of a history of racism in this country. I keep telling you.
Okay, so, all right. So when I'm looking at racism, or I'm looking at race in general, right? I already did this video. It's probably best that I didn't post it. I don't know, because I kind of like a little bit. So I came and I just sat down and chilled for a minute, and then about to redo it. Okay, so when it comes to race and the origins of the word, it's about a race, more like a presidential race, or a race to the top. Okay, it wasn't at first looked at as something that had to do with your color or your skin tone. Okay, the reason about so-called racism throughout this time is to keep a certain people, the original people, down, and that's mentally first, and then when it comes to the construct. Okay, all right, first the mind, right, then your position in society, right, and being in that type of situation then leads to the health problems and things like that occur. So when we're talking about race, it didn't begin with your skin tone. Of course, they can identify you a little bit easier or narrow it down by using your skin tone, your region, but your heraldry or your surnames. But race didn't necessarily have anything to do with that. It was always about who you were. Who you were. And how precious you are because of your inheritance, or, again, your makeup. There are things, and I'm not an expert in these things. You would have to, seek out people that do these things. And be careful when you do that. Because what I'm trying to explain on this channel is that everybody that look like you ain't always the ones that did things to you. Just like everybody that don't look like you ain't always the ones that did things for you. Some of those people fought for you, and we don't look at their information and things and identify the fact that they were speaking truth. But because it's not sugar-coated, or you don't feel good and you automatically are triggered by your emotions, right? Or you let people play mind games on you when it comes to imagery to trigger you to go into your emotions, which then you can't think properly. So now, race, again, did not originally have to do with your skin color. It's about who you are. And yes, we don't we may not, or some people may not own anything like that, but actually you own everything. Or again, it's almost like being poor, but thou art rich, right? But again, if we don't know better, then we can't do better. And if we don't know the story, then see, we'll let it rewrite itself. Okay? So they made race a thing to mean something about your skin tone later on. It didn't originally have to do with that. Like now, it doesn't really have to do with that. It has to do with who you are and what inheritances should be being bestowed upon certain groups at some time. So it was really easier for some of these groups to be planted here, look like you, rise you up against each other and the original ones. So again, rally them all up against the original ones indeed, right? So they can stake claim to things that belong to you. Because again, this is the problem with 90% of our people not knowing that they are American Aborigines or Indians, some people may call. Whole time they've been thinning you out and taking in your inheritance that we lack knowledge on what it is and how sometimes to achieve it. And the very people that you go to sometimes are the people that have already been placed in those positions, groomed for what they're doing, whether they know it or not. And they have access to those things. So that's why I'm saying be careful about who you join with, again, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. Because again, a lot of some of these people that you might get, like I treat genealogy like, not want nobody to know what bank you bank at or something like that. It's kind of like private kind of information, So, yeah, when we're talking about race, again, we have to look at it from all aspects, not just one. Okay? They use the skin color, the surface, to trigger surface level emotions, such as fear or anger or, trauma or whatever. And when somebody speaks the truth, people get bothered by it, and then you're a coon or whatever. Because again, however we think about it, it doesn't make any sense to say, oh, we only get riled up when the shooting that's supposedly against a so-called black person is something that the news or mainstream media wants you to see it as. And again, it triggers those emotions. It's about perception, perceiving it. But nobody's that triggered and fired up when it's happening in front of their face in their own neighborhood, right? As much. So you get mad about it only when others want you to get upset about it. And when somebody comes and speak the truth about it, as if the fact that you're having more, it doesn't matter. It matters what they're doing, but can you even go ahead and look at it in a different way, being non-biased or unbiased, and say, hey, we really got a better chance of past dying at the hands of one of our own people within our community. So again, when we say we, I'm talking about like-minded individuals, pure individuals. Again, white also in etymology means pure. Okay? Then you have to wonder why they have that on some of your ancestors' documents that clearly look like they were not. So-called what society says is white. Okay? These are just things to think about, is all I'm saying. And even most of the people, if they're not to a certain level right now with understanding, they really some people might be getting into genealogy, but they just want to do it because, it's some kind of closure or something, right? They're not going to know about those other things that are sitting behind closed doors that you kind of really got to know about, right? Or be in that arena and have been studying in that arena to know about these extra things that are supposed to be ordained or bestowed upon your family line through lineage, right? And then we're at a point where, again, you have to wonder why the black sheep are the ones that are standing up and rising up. And usually those are the ones nobody in the family likes, and they would rather cut them off from being a nation or to remove the cornerstone, okay? And again, those are the ones that can see through all the bullshit. So again, they don't want to have them around if they're going to be doing crooked shit. Okay? So I'm just saying, be careful who you dealing with, family, friends, whatever. A couple of dollars can make a whole bunch of difference, especially in these times. And you have to know that there are spiritual families and other portions of your family that are in hierarchies or higher levels in society that have access to this, yours and theirs, right? And so again, I think something has happened already. A shift has happened, and again, these people are trying to play out as if these other parts of the family are irrelevant. But most of the times, those people that are the ones that are pouring out their hearts and actually doing the hard work of doing the real research, you know what I'm saying? While we're doing that, or while we were reading the Bible, or while we were studying the law, you know, they had the minds of the majority, which were kind of surface thinking. So again, then they were able to what? Turn those people against the real people that came to help them. And again, these people have already had they've already had a head start. By the time you wake up to what's going on, they've already had so much of a head start. It feels like there's nothing you can do. But all you can do is really, you know, I'm saying, have faith in yourself and then source, your higher self and then source, to kind of lead, right? You can't just be silent, but again, yes, words cast spells, but they also undo them. So are we really paying attention when it comes to these smear campaigns, right? And then, you know, the Build a Bitch workshop, okay? Where people are taking, when it comes to spiritual beings, just like they've done in the past, to try to call them crazy while they sit there and cipher and suck all of the information out. And mainly they're women, right? And over time, women couldn't speak on certain things. We're so intense sometimes, or when we step into our powers, you know, it's just something that's just too much for people to bear or deal with. They want to call you crazy, or they want to say you're hard to deal with, or something like that. No, we don't be wanting to be played with. That's why some of us have been molded and formed in a way to be still standing at this point in time. And again, there's sometimes when you have to, you know, sit on a throne like the empress that you are, and sometimes you got to get the fuck up off of it with that sword. And that's the only thing. They're afraid of our power, and that's why they keep us arguing with each other and over things. I'm just saying, it's just sad, okay? And then once things are out of control, you know, you see, and when I'm saying that, I'm saying people that have been ciphering your energy or whatever it is, your intellect, right? However, while tapping your phones, whatever they're doing, or telepathically, people can actually do these things, okay? It's more than just to see what you're doing. It's also to make sure that you're not making any kind of improvement when it comes to identifying the bullshit that's been done. That's why they want to keep you working on other things instead of your spiritual eye, right? Right? They'd rather you be educated and indoctrinated. So again, I'm not coming here to be your friend. I'm not coming here to smile in your face and be doing shit behind your back. I'm just telling you how it is. And unfortunately, those who are caused to go into like an island type of mode where they're secluded, or again, things have been used to turn things around or against you. You know, you know, we really want to say, oh, it was the devil for everything else, the little like worldly things and the things that deal with surface level thinking, right? We like to get mad and riled up about that, but when it comes to the things that are deeper or go to the root of it, we don't really want to deal with it. So it's like, do you really want it or don't you? Like, that's what it is. Because you're going to have to go down to the deep and come back up through it and sift through it. It's more than that. It's more than that. It's almost like a level of mind control, like even. So again, they knew this day was coming. So again, they already had certain people planted in certain positions to have a head start. And then when you're ready to come for it and they bring it to you and like it's a good idea, then it's time. So I'm not speaking against these particular methods that's going on. I'm talking about the dirt that's behind the scenes. And when I'm talking about people coming taking information, I'm talking about this is really like defiling and is really invading someone's whole entire privacy in order to, again, create some kind of false narrative or notion about a person, slandering them, taking away their way to be able to even operate or deal with other people. Okay? And I'm saying that I know that, again, some of these lords of host, again, they're host. You are like, okay, or you're the, okay, it's about hosting is what I'm trying to say. Almost like hosting a party, and it's almost like a view inside. And the information there is taken in order to, again, there's no other reason to bring something down. Okay? And if you can create the narrative and you can form other people's perception, then hey, because perception is everything. So there's going to be a lot of people that were good people that came to help people, but other people wanted to just take what they had and then pour those vials, right? Or pour those assets into other individuals by grafting them in. It's so much going on and it's so much deeper. But I have to control the way that I speak on this platform, because I know that one of the things that's going on around me is that for someone to bring in a issue of, again, where they will go just like it's been done, but they won't be doing it this time. When it comes to mental health. Excuse me. So again, any type of mass manipulation, I can't. I cannot stand it, because it's the thing that really, is the sad thing it's the real reason why many great people, okay, have fallen. It wasn't about the race. It was actually about what they held within them. The power. That is a scary thing for some people that want to keep their hands stirring the pot. So to create commotion and chaos. And because you're cornered and you have to speak out, then you're going to be looked at some kind of way. Okay, and the narrative have already started, so they feel like there's no way that you can, be able to undo this, right? So all of this is bigger than each one. Although each one can teach one, you know what I'm saying? It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. You guys are just seeing the small details right now. But again, the proof has been in the pudding. All up and through this channel. And other channels. So, again, I'm going to stop here and then we'll come back and finish listening to it. Because really, it really inspired thought. Okay? So again, no way, shape, or form am I coming at this individual. Or even disagreeing with anything that he's saying. I just wanted to look at it on another scale. Okay?